Hello everyone, I am Himanshi from DNA Education, and today we will be taking further the fourth chapter that we have started in the previous session, carbon and its compounds. Today we will learn about the nomenclature of carbon compounds. First of all, let us understand what different types of carbon compounds can be formed. There can be three basic structures that can be formed by carbon compounds. These are chains, branches or rings. Let us study about them. A chain is a single straight line in which carbon atoms are arranged. So you can see that this is a chain of 4 carbon atoms. Now suppose if I crop this last carbon atom and join it somewhere else in the middle, suppose, now this becomes a branch because this is a chain with a branch, or we can say that this is a chain with this branch, or we can say that this is a chain with this branch. So we have understood what is a chain and what is a branch. Now pay attention to these two structures. These are 3 carbon atoms, and sometimes people get confused by taking this as a branch, but this is not a branch. Since carbon atoms are running in continuation, this is considered as a chain. To be a branch, there should be a junction at a single carbon atom. Like this. Here, 2 bonds or 2 carbon atoms are attached at the single carbon atom, hence forming a branch. However, here only 1 carbon atom is attached to this carbon and therefore it is a chain. Similarly, this is a chain of 4 carbon atoms and not a branch. Now coming to a cycle. Carbon can be joined in a cyclic form to form ring. These are called ring structures. Now these are the basic backbone structures of carbon compounds, and we can add hydrogen atoms to satisfy the valency of each carbon atom. For example, here carbon is having 1 bond, we need 3 more bonds, so we will join it by 4 hydrogen atoms. This carbon has 2 bonds already, so we need 2 more hydrogens. Same is the case here, and again this is having 1 bond, so it needs 3 more bonds. In this way, this is called the complete structure of the compound. While coming to a ring, let us see how we add hydrogen atoms to the ring system. This carbon is having 2 bonds, so we need 2 more bonds. We can join 2 hydrogen atoms here. This carbon is again having 2 bonds, so it also needs 2 more hydrogen atoms. Same is the case with all other carbon atoms. So in this way, the ring chain can be satisfied. Now coming to the structure benzene. This is a special structure because in this structure, it is characterized by alternate single and double bonds. As you can see that there are 6 carbon atoms and each carbon atom is alternating with single and double bonds. This is a peculiar feature of benzene. Now let us see how many hydrogen atoms should be added to each of the carbon atoms in benzene. In this carbon we have 3 bonds, so we need just 1 more bond. So there can be only 1 hydrogen. Similarly, this carbon is again having 3 bonds in all and we need only 1 more hydrogen. Same is the case here and with each of the carbons in benzene. So this becomes the basic structure of benzene, and it is peculiar because of the alternate double and single bonds. So now we have understood how carbon can form chains, branches and rings. Now let us understand about the nomenclature. This table shows the prefixes that we use with each number of carbon atoms. For example, if a carbon compound contains only 1 carbon atom, then its name will begin with meth. Similarly, if it has 2 carbon atoms, the name will begin with eth. For 3, it's prop, 4, but, 5, pent and 6, hex. It can be further like hept for 7, oct for 8 and so on. Now let us understand with an example. But before that, there is one more nomenclature for saturated and unsaturated hydrocarbons. For example, if a carbon compound contains only single bonds, that is, it is saturated, then we use the suffix "ane" in its name. For example, CH4. In CH4 it has one carbon atom, so we will use the prefix meth because it is for one carbon atom, and it contains only single bonds, so the suffix will be ane and the name becomes meth plus ane, that is methane. In the similar way, let us come to the double bonded structure. If a carbon compound contains even a single double bond, then the name will contain the suffix ene. For example, this carbon compound, it has two carbon atoms and hence we will use the prefix eth, and it has a double bond, so the suffix will be ene. The term became eth plus ene, ethene. Hence ethene has two carbon atoms with a double bond. If a carbon compound has even a single triple bond, then the suffix will be ine. For example, in this structure we can see 1, 2 and 3 carbon atoms, and hence we will use the prefix prop and suffix ine, so it becomes propyne. So the name of this structure will become propyne. In this way we can name nomenclature of single, double and triple bonded carbon compounds. Now let us move on further to some more elements. As you can see that hydrocarbons contain hydrogen and carbon, but sometimes due to various reactions other atoms can also join in the compound. Here is a list of some atoms that can be added. For example, if a carbon compound contains chlorine or bromine, then the name of the compound will become a halo hydrocarbon, and we will add suffix chloro for chlorine and bromo for bromine. Similarly, if carbon compound contains OH somewhere in the compound, then we will use the suffix ol. If it has CHO in the end, then we will use L in the end and the compound will be an aldehyde. Similarly, if contains a CO group in between the compound, then we will use the suffix ONE in the compound name and the compound will be called a ketone. Similarly, if it has COOH group in the end of the compound, then we will use the suffix oic acid and the compound will be called carboxylic acid. So from this table we can conclude that any compound having COOH group is a carboxylic acid, having CO group is a ketone, having CHO is an aldehyde, having OH is an alcohol, and having chlorine or bromine element is a halogen compound. So now let us look at some of the examples relating to these nomenclatures. First is this. Now we have 1, 2 and 3 carbon atoms and we see that there is one chlorine atom attached here. First of all, we have to number the carbon atoms. The numbering of carbon atoms can be started from here or from here. It depends on where this additional atom is placed. We have to start the numbering which is closest to this atom. As we see that there is one carbon atom here and one here, so we can start it from anywhere. Let's say this is 1, this is 2 and this is third carbon. So now we see that chlorine is attached to second carbon and 3 carbon atoms will be a propane, but it is chlorine at the second carbon, so we write the name 2-chloropropane. In this way we can have naming of the carbon compounds. Now let us look at another example. In this we can see that there is a COOH group in the end of the compound. So now you can see that there are 1, 2, 3 and 4 carbon atoms. So we will use the prefix but, and this is a carboxylic acid group, so we will use the suffix oic acid. So it became butanoic acid. Now let us move on to the next example. In this we see that there are 2 carbon atoms and there is a CHO group. CHO group is an aldehyde and we have to use the suffix al. And because there are 2 carbon atoms, so we use the prefix eth. So it becomes ethane plus al, ethanol. Now moving on to the next example, we can clearly see that this is a ketone group, the CO group, ketone. In this we have to again name the compound. We have to name the compound from the lowest so that it contains the lowest number. If we start from here, then it will be 1, 2 and 3. But if we start from here, it will be 1 and 2. So we will be starting with here 1, 2, 3, 4. So we see that at the second carbon it is a ketone and it has total of 4 carbon atoms. Hence we will use the prefix but and we will add 2, that is 2-butanone. We have added the suffix one. So the name of this compound becomes 2-butanone. In this way we can name the various carbon compounds. Now let us understand some basic formulas relating to alkanes, alkenes and alkynes. Alkanes, as I said, are the carbon compounds with single bonds. Alkenes are the carbon compounds with double bonds, and alkynes are the carbon compounds with triple bonds. To get the formula of the desired compound, we have this basic formula. This is the formula for alkanes, CnH2n plus 2. For example, if I have 2 carbon atoms, then it will become C2H6. Similarly, this is the formula for alkenes, that is CnH2n. For example, if I have 2 carbon atoms, then the formula will become C2H4. Similarly, this is a formula for alkynes, that is triple bonded compounds. Suppose again I have 2 carbon atoms, then the formula becomes C2H2. In this way we can find out the formula for all carbon compounds using these 3 formulas. There is one more point in this topic which is called the homologous series. A homologous series is a series of hydrocarbons in which each of the compound differs by a CH2 unit, that is CH2 unit. Suppose we start with CH2, we have to add one more CH2, then we get C2H6. If again we add CH2, we will get C3H8. Again adding CH2 will give C4H10 and so on. In this way, this series in which each compound differs by a CH2 unit is called a homologous series. That's all for today's session. For more details, please log into www.dnaeducation.com. Thank you.